Hey guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video we are going to be doing Mariah's hair. We have not done her hair since like May, and I didn't film it then because we just redid what she had. So today we're actually going to do something a little bit different. We're just working with what she has. So obviously you can see she still has a lot of red tones in her hair, and then she has a lot of regrowth. So we're going to bleach the regrowth on this side, and we're actually going to do yellow roots with orange ends. So to do that, I have to like color shift and just put yellow all over that side of her head, because putting yellow on red will make orange. If I mixed up orange and put it on red, it's just gonna look like a red. So I'm gonna like color shift and just use yellow to do the whole thing. And then once we're ready to apply the actual semi-permanent color, I'm gonna touch up the black on this half of her head, which that half of your hair like holds black really good. It didn't used to, but now it just like keeps the pitch black color, which is very rare. I feel like a lot of people it just fades brown, but her hair stays black. So I have bleach here mixed up. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this on this half of her head and let it process, and then we'll be back to do the color. And for the color today, we're gonna be using Strawberry Leopard You're My Sunshine. I just tried this recently, and you guys know I really liked it, so I actually went and bought another bottle so that we would have enough to do it on her hair. So we're actually gonna be using this on human hair today instead of just like extensions, so I'm excited to try this.
So when I'm applying bleach on split dye hair, it's like very difficult to do split dye hair. It takes a lot more patience, and you have to really think about how you're applying like the color on the hair. So here you can see I am applying the color vertically, so that way I'm not flipping the hair onto the black side, because I don't want to get bleach on that black side and lighten it. So I'm just applying the bleach vertically and pushing the hair back away from her face. Then I'm going to go in and cross check just to make sure I didn't miss any spots, and I'm going to start at the bottom of her head and work my way to the top of her head for the exact same reason I just stated. You just don't want to get any of that bleach flipped over on that black side. So we have been doing red the past like 2 or 3 times, so this red was really stained into her hair. When I washed out this bleach, the suds were still a pretty bright magenta color from how much red is still in her hair. So if you're looking for a red dye that doesn't come out of the hair easily and does not fade, Lunar Tide's reds have been notorious for like keeping in the hair really well. I've used them on myself, and we've used them on Mariah, and they seem to stay really well. So I would definitely check out Lunar Tides if you're wanting a red that stays really well.
Okay, we are back. Here is what her hair has lifted to. It's a beautiful platinum blonde color. So now we are going in with the actual color, and for the black side I use this Ion Permanent color in 2B. This is Midnight Blue Black. So I've been using this the past like 3 or 4 times, and I really like this dye. It seems to hold in her hair really well, and I like the blacks that have that blue undertone. I just feel like they last longer, and it's more of that like deep black instead of like a brown black. And then for yellow, of course, we're going in with Strawberry Leopard and You're My Sunshine. Here's what it looks like in the bowl. It looks so pretty. I'll leave a link to the color we're using in the description down below in case you guys want to try it, because I highly recommend trying the Strawberry Leopard. I like pretty much all of their dyes I've tried. So here's the black dye. Here's the yellow dye, and again I'm just going to put this directly all over the side of her head. I did add Olaplex into the black dye, and we're also going to use this dye defender. This is just basically like barrier cream. I like to put this on like the black side of her hairline so that way her forehead doesn't get stained black, because if you don't use this, normally you're walking around with like black forehead for a while. So this is from Fremar, and it smells amazing. I'm like obsessed with this smell. So I'm going to apply this, and then we will start applying the color. I'm going to start by applying the yellow dye first. That way there's like a barrier there in case I accidentally get any black on the yellow side. There's already dye there so I can wipe it off. If I started on the black side and accidentally got black on her blonde roots, it's not as easy as just wiping it off. So I like to start with the yellow side because it's conditioning, so you can leave it on for hours if you want to. There's no like hurry. If I applied the black first, there's obviously a time crunch. You need to like apply the other side and rinse the black off within a certain time frame, and with semi-permanent dye you can leave it on forever. So I like to apply the yellow first.
So here I am just applying the yellow all over that side of her head, and when I apply the yellow I start by like outlining the perimeter of that side of her head, and then again I start at the bottom of her head and work my way up towards the top of her head, and I'm just applying the yellow all over root to ends at the same time. So as I stated, I wanted to like color shift, so instead of removing the previous red, I'm just putting yellow on top of it. And this would have worked beautifully if all of her red was an even lighter red color. But because the porosity in Mariah's hair is uneven all over from previous bleachings and color removers, some of the red is going to fade differently than other parts of her hair. So like the last couple inches of her hair had faded quite a bit and it was like a peachy red. And then up in the middle of her hair, she also had like a middle area band where she had faded that red a lot and it was like a blondish color. So by applying the yellow all over her hair, there was going to be areas that were yellow, there were going to be areas that were red, and there were going to be areas that were orange. So it was actually going to come out pretty blotchy just because there was not an even red base I'm putting the yellow on top of. So here in a second I'm going to explain. I actually decided to mix up an orange color and glaze her ends to create more of an ombre. So here I am explaining that to you guys.
Okay, so I decided to go ahead and mix up like a dark orange or like an orangey red just to put over her ends because there's still so much red left in her ends. If I just leave it like this, it's not going to be like a bright orange. So I'm just going to mix that up and then bring it up to like this area right here. So her ends are going to have like that orangey red, and then there will be the middle band where it's color shifting. You guys can see it's like orangey right here, and then she'll have yellow roots. So it'll be like more like an ombre. So I'm just going to mix up some orangey red dye to glaze over her ends real quick. I'm just gonna apply it straight on top of this and it's gonna be beautiful. So let me mix that up real quick and I'll like tell you what I used. I have some of this left over from a long time ago, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use Sunset Orange from Arctic Fox. This is like a reddish orange. It's still orange, but it has those red undertones to it. So I'm just gonna use this straight out of the bottle and glaze her ends with it.
So here you can see I am just squeezing the color directly onto her hair, and then I am just using my fingers to blend that up into the section that is like the neon orange underneath that yellow. So I'm looking at the hair and I'm trying to find those areas that had faded and were like yellowy orange. So I'm just going over those sections with that darker orange, just wanting to make sure I cover up any blotchiness so that way there's a really smooth transition from the yellow all the way down to the red. I honestly think this like worked way better than just putting yellow all over that side of her head. So I am applying this color on damp hair. I did not blow dry her hair after we got done washing out the lightener. Lately, the past like 2 or 3 times I would say, I have been trying to apply semi-permanent dye on damp or towel dried hair, and I just love the outcome and the application a lot better than applying it on like bone dry hair. I've learned when applying semi-permanent dye on damp hair, it glides into the hair a lot easier. I don't feel like there's as much patchiness, and also you're not using as much product. When you apply it on super dry hair, you're using a lot more product, and I feel like you spend a lot of time working the color into the hair. And even if you spend all that extra time working the color into the hair, there can still be areas that are patchy. It kind of just depends on what the consistency of the direct dye is. Sometimes if they're a little bit more conditioning, it takes a lot longer to apply and it can still be patchy no matter how much you try and work the color into the hair. So having it be damp just kind of helps it glide and blend into the hair a lot easier. So as you can see, I'm just applying the black at her roots that have grown out. I used to apply the black all over her ends to refresh the color, because once you dye your hair black, it tends to fade to like a brown color. So I used to refresh her mid-lengths and her ends with this black, but the more and more you dye your hair with it, the hair seems to hold on. And I've tried several different black dyes on her, and this one is by far my favorite. I feel like it sticks in her hair so well, and like I said, it does not fade to a brown. It stays like a super pitch black color. So if you're looking for a black that does not fade, I highly recommend you guys try this Ion one. It has that blue undertone, so it like remains like a midnight beautiful black color.
All right, we are just going to let this process, and then I'm going to rinse this side using cool water, and then the other side we're just going to shampoo and condition like normal, and then I will be back to show you guys the finished results, and so far it's looking insane. Like, she looks like a flame, and I'm excited to see what it looks like dry. So I'll be right back to show you the results. All right, you guys, we are back, and here are the finished results. It looks insane. I hope it's picking up on camera how good it is in person, because like the black next to like the flame colors, it's just like a perfect hair combo, and I highly suggest you guys try this combo because it's like one of the prettiest split dye colors I've ever seen. I'll go ahead and spin her around and show you what the 360 of her hair looks like.
Here's what the back of her head looks like. Look how beautiful that color melt is, and it just pops next to that really dark black.
Like I said earlier, I will leave a link to all the products we used in the description down below in case you guys want to use the same colors we did. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and until next time, guys, stay weird. Bye!